Bacon and eggs. What
it
else?
good? Was it good?
Coffee, yeah.
Coffee. Good.
Pig that I actually made. My name is Vince McIntyre, 67 years old. I'm a farmer, and I do woodworking, various, a jack of all trades, you might as well call me, yeah. I've lived here since 1979. I found this place by accident and decided to camp here with my girlfriend in 1979. She was a mountaineer, and we made our temporary camp here. And here, 30 years later, we decided in the world to settle down. It's a beautiful place, and when I come here one time to help somebody get firewood, there was an old clear cut, and all the trees were down, but it was so beautiful, the panorama of the mountains and the lake and all that, oh, that'd be a nice place to live. Yeah, I work for a hay rancher up there, a cattle rancher, and that's where I first used horses in BC, was helping an old rancher put up hundreds of acres of hay with horses, and the only machine he had, a tractor machine he had, was the mower, and everything else he did with the horses, cutting it and stacking, or picking it up and stacking it, and me and him. And it was when it just brought me back to my childhood, where we did before the tractor, where everybody had tractors. And we did. My father, he was a horseman, and I helped him when I was like 10 years old and stuff. Learned to drive horses. It's not that I wanted to do it back then, but I learned enough by the observation to be able to do it when I got older. Yeah. I think for a person to learn horses out of a book is pretty difficult, and with information. And if you don't have the some sort of connect, like a lot of people I find that with their first introduction to the horse, they treat it like a machine. Like you say whoa and the brakes are on, you know. And to me it's more like being on a boat in rough water, that there's always movement going on, and you always have to be in touch with the movement with horses. You can't just say, oh, I got that figured out, and then drift off. When you do that, your horses drift off. So it takes a lot of focus. For me, it's a discipline. It's actually maybe like somebody doing the yoga or something like that, because you really takes you out of yourself, makes you focus on. And yeah, you have to be like that to make it like horse thing work for you, and keep even temper. So if you get angry with your horses, you're in trouble. You know, they feel that right away, and they don't. So it takes. You have to be stoical. Yeah. I think it's a lesson right in the horses. It keeps you humble, because you know, a tractor, people get on a big machine and they have that power. But with a horse, you have to be polite. You have to ask them. You have to get their willingness and attention. And with a tractor, you don't have to do that. Yeah. And then also the whole feeding and care process. Like I would say that I wouldn't call myself a good horseman by any means. I know good horsemen, but I would never say that, hey, I'd be a good guy to teach how to use horses, because I have my own rudimentary style that works for me. But yet and all, for people to come and work for me, with Nick, he's learning the horses quite well, but he's not just dependent on me. He has read a lot, read books that I should have read. There's one right there, Training Work Horses, Training Teamsters by Len R. Miller. He read that from cover to cover this winter before he started. And got him to rebuild the harness, him and his girlfriend, so they know, you know, the breaking points a little. When I have people that come want to learn something of me, I just come and watch me. I'll show you how I do it. And that's where I start with people. That I have demand of people that people be observant. You know, to actually explain stuff to people, I have a hard time with that, and it's not the way I like to do it. I don't want to come there. Like if you're in the field and I'm doing things a certain way, I'll show you how I do it, and then I'll see how you get it. If you go and work in a automobile factory and you put 4 bolts in a radiator and that's all you know how to do, and you have you're dependent on being in a certain way with your superiors, otherwise you lose your job. You can't be real. If you have a mortgage, you have to say and do things that you don't want to do. And if you know somebody that has in that form, it limits a whole lot of things about you, you know. And if you want to do other stuff, then you have to have exert. You have to have the willpower or whatever it takes to not go home and watch TV and drink beer, but do other stuff to give you like a life.